to NAGGL's 2020 Spring Virtual Conference. My name is Tony Wilkinson, and I have the privilege of serving as the President and CEO of the National Association of Government Guaranteed Lenders. If you had asked us 3 months ago what the NAGGL Spring Conference would look like, we would have told you that about 500 of us would be gathered right now in Atlanta. And the biggest topic of discussion would probably be the highly anticipated release of the SOP 5010-6. My oh my, how quickly things have changed. It was only about 2 months ago that a nasty virus started to impact our way of life. Since then, businesses across the country have closed their doors and millions have lost their jobs. Many of us, including the NAGGL staff, have transitioned to working from home, alongside our spouses, kids, and pets. And then along came PPP, but more about that later. The COVID-19 emergency has impacted us all. Back in March, when it became clear that it would not be practical or safe to hold an in-person event, the NAGGL staff kicked it into high gear and quickly developed a Plan B, a virtual conference. One thing we immediately did was reach out to the spring conference sponsors about how they wanted to handle the financial commitment already made to support the Atlanta event. We were very pleasantly surprised by the commitment to the association that our sponsors expressed, and deeply humbled that most sponsors were all in to continue their support, saying things like, "We need NAGGL now more than ever." NAGGL is very thankful to each sponsor, from the premier level to the bronze level. These sponsors range from large institutions to small businesses, and I want to take a few moments to sincerely thank each sponsor by name. I hope that every attendee will take a few minutes to visit the sponsor page at nagglconference.com to learn more about these businesses. A big thank you to our premier sponsors of the virtual conference. First is NewTek Small Business Lending. NewTek is a small business lender as well as an LSP that specializes in providing a broad range of SBA lending support. Thank you to Barry Sloan and all of your team at NewTek. And a big shout out as well to Lewis Taylor and his team at NovaTrack. NovaTrack has developed leading cloud-based small business lending software with tools designed especially for SBA loans. I also want to thank the 3 platinum sponsors that are supporting this event. Guidehouse provides management and risk consulting services and serves the federal financial, regulatory, and federal credit communities. Live Oak Bank is a top SBA lender that provides financial solutions to small businesses nationwide. And Starfield & Smith, a law firm that represents lenders nationally, specializing in a wide range of SBA compliance issues. We thank a big group of gold sponsors that continued their commitment. Anastasi Jellum, BBVA Compass Bank, GCF Business Valuation, JP Morgan Chase, Ready Capital, Reliance Business Valuation, Signature Bank, the Bailey Group, US Bank, and Wells Fargo. Everyone at NAGGL is also thankful to our silver sponsors, Morgan Stanley, Radius Bank, Thomas USAF Group, United Community Bank, and Zions Bank Corporation. And finally, we thank our bronze sponsors who are enthusiastically on board to help NAGGL as we turn to a virtual conference. Bronze sponsors are Bank of the West, Byline Bank, DRDA, Evolve Bank, First Bank of the Lake, First Business Bank, Kitchens Kelly Gaines, Lurch Early and Brewer, Lewis KPs, Morris Manning and Martin, Nationwide Valuations, Outsourced Risk Management Solutions, and Whipfly. What an incredible number of sponsors. It seems inadequate to merely say thank you, but I hope that every sponsor understands how appreciative the entire association is for their support. At the point that NAGGL had to cancel the in-person spring conference, the traditional exhibit hall full of booths was already sold out. And so we quickly brainstormed ways to create an alternative option for those vendors that might be interested. Of course, we clearly understood that nothing can ever replace the face-to-face interactions that are the hallmark of a trade show. But NAGGL has built a nice new conference website that includes a virtual exhibit hall in which 17 businesses of all sizes are exhibiting in a unique way. And NAGGL has offered some out-of-the-ordinary perks for exhibitors. Each booth has provided a great video that tells visitors about their service or product offering, gives links to a variety of marketing collateral and technical information, and there are even door prize drawings and product discounts being offered. The virtual hall is full of creativity and simply a lot of fun to visit. I really want to encourage all attendees to take a few minutes to visit the site, accessible at NAGGLconference.com. And I think that it's important for us to remember that we are all in this together as we scramble to think outside the box and evolve our business practices during and post-COVID-19. Finally, don't forget that the exhibitors are hosting a virtual toast to first financial responders on Wednesday, May the 6th, around 4:30 p.m. Central Time. Instructions for that event have been emailed to each of you. So let's thank these innovative exhibitors for their sense of adventure and their ongoing support of NAGGL. Please visit DRDA, GCF Valuation, Guidehouse, NewTek, NovaTrack, Outsourced Risk Management Solutions, PCFS Solutions, Reliant Business Valuation, Signature Bank, Spark, Starfield & Smith, TaxGuard, Tetra Tech, The Bailey Group, Thomas USAF Group, TitleVest, and Turner Business Appraisals. Over the years, NAGGL has built a strong working relationship with the Small Business Administration. And over the past few weeks, we have been in daily conversation with many top SBA officials addressing our members' concerns and navigating guidance as it's been released. I want to personally thank SBA for their continued partnership with our trade association, especially through these chaotic times. We are excited to have the Honorable Jovita Carranza, Administrator of the SBA, participate in our virtual conference. In lieu of being together in person, Administrator Carranza has recorded a keynote address available for you to view on our conference website. We are also happy to welcome back Bill Manger, the Associate Administrator for the Office of Capital Access at SBA. Bill will give a live address on Wednesday morning at the beginning of the start of the first session, beginning at 10 a.m. Eastern Time. We are all adapting to this new virtual reality, and we thank them for their contributions to this event. We hope you will set aside some time to listen to both of these addresses. One of the benefits of a virtual conference is no travel costs for our attendees. Because of this benefit, many SBA regional and district staff are now able to join us. For many of you, this may be your first NAGGL conference, so a big NAGGL welcome to over 130 SBA field staff joining us throughout the country. We are thrilled that so many of you are able to join us this week. This audience is well aware of what has transpired over the past 2 months. The implementation of the CARES Act allocated almost $660 billion in funding to help America's small businesses through a new program coined the Paycheck Protection Program, better known as PPP or Triple P. And since the CARES Act was signed into law, it has been this group, the 7A lending community, that has stepped up to the plate to help small businesses being devastated by circumstances totally outside of their control. Lenders support small businesses and, by extension, the entire American economy every day. Never in the program's history has that support been more vital. Despite the lack of clear and definitive guidance, this community provided about $340 billion through over 1.6 million loans through the first round of funding in just 14 days. The second round provided an additional $310 billion in funding, and through May 2nd, an additional 2.2 million loans had been approved. In total, over 3.8 million loans were made available, totaling over $500 billion for small businesses. These are amazing numbers. We know this has not come without its struggles. We have received thousands of emails from lenders with questions about everything from eligibility to processing to servicing and every detail in between. You and your teams have worked tirelessly and around the clock for weeks to approve qualified borrowers while keeping up with rolling guidance that sometimes changed by the hour. I want to take a moment to commend you all for the work that you have done so far, the hours you have spent, and the businesses that you have helped. And while we know that our work is still not done, we should step back and look at the magnitude of what was just accomplished. And collectively, we can say, a job well done. We know that everyone is still working long hours to manage your now expanded portfolios of loans. We know that your time is valuable, and we appreciate that you have decided to spend these precious hours with us virtually to partake in the important industry discussions that need to occur. Over the next few days, we will hear from top SBA officials from the Office of Capital Access, including the Office of Financial Assistance, the Office of Credit Risk Management, Office of Financial Program Operations, and more, on the rapid-fire changes affecting the 7A world. We hope to gain clarity on the guidance we have today and what we can expect in the weeks ahead. Our government relations team will provide valuable insight on what is happening on Capitol Hill and obstacles looming on the horizon. The CARES Act abolished the interim final rule that had made substantial changes to affiliation and fee rules. So we'll spend some time discussing what the rules are now. The same law also gave SBA Express a temporary promotion, a maximum loan increase from $350,000 up to $1 million. We'll dive into the details and best practices of that program. In a world where there is so much uncertainty, how do we underwrite loans, service loans, refinance debt? Our expert panelists will get into the weeds on how we can prudently service our portfolios and maneuver through the many issues we will face. All of us, lenders, service providers, the SBA, and our nation's small businesses, are in uncharted territory. We hope every one of you attending this conference will walk away armed with information that will allow you to continue to do what you do best, help small businesses succeed. If you have attended our online sessions in the past, this conference format should look very familiar to you. We have a helpful FAQ and technical issues page to refer to if you are experiencing any issues, and the NAGGL team is standing by to answer your questions. All you need to do is email info@naggle.org or pick up the phone and call us. Finally, I want to thank each of the industry experts that will be guiding us through these tough conversations. And I especially want to thank the NAGGL staff, who have worked tirelessly to pull together a virtual conference that lives up to the standards our attendees have come to expect from NAGGL. And while we are not together in person as planned, we are excited to connect with over 550 of you over the next few days. From Bellevue, Washington to San Juan, Puerto Rico, and everywhere in between, thank you for joining us. We are in for a busy few days ahead, so buckle up.